I'm Craig Chalquist. I'm Department Chair of East-West Psychology at the California Institute of Integral Studies. And what I'm going to do is give you roughly my problem statement in the area that I'd like to work in, and then suggest how to go about technologizing it a bit. The problem statement has to do with the fact that we who evolved in the natural world don't get out much. We tend to spend so much time inside our buildings, living inside the machinery that we ourselves have made, that we don't really think about the impact that has on us, and so it's kind of in the background. But there's a whole bunch of research evidence lately that shows that if we don't reconnect with the natural world enough, we start suffering in a number of different ways that we don't consciously connect to the fact that we're indoors all the time. So we may have a lot of anxiety going on that we don't relate to in terms of being detached from the natural world. We may not be sleeping well. Appetite can go up and down. We might get depressed. Work burnout is huge when you're indoors all the time, especially if you're doing a very concentrated series of tasks and you don't take enough breaks. And a lot of us work, we work a lot anyway, so that's sort of the norm these days in this country. So all of those things can keep us from remembering that we need to reconnect with nature, and when we do, it reverses all of that. So just going outside for a few minutes, it lowers anxiety, it makes it easier to deal with other people, improves mood, all kinds of different things. What I'm proposing is an app that reminds people to not only go outside, but do a number of exercises that I have written down that are developed in order to quickly reconnect with the natural world. So an example of one of them might be if there's a park or a garden near where you work, spending some time out there, taking in everything with your senses, relaxing, walking around. Just that all by itself can lower your blood pressure. So the app I have in mind is a series of reminders and exercises about how to do things like that. That would be the first part of it. So written down exercises, and this could be explained with a video, for instance. And then the second part of the app would be just interesting facts about our connection with the natural world. So here's one as an example. There's a soil bacteria with like a $10 name attached to it that biologists use, Mycobacteria baccae. And the long and the short of it is, if you put your hands in fresh soil and you carry that soil around for 20 minutes, it begins to change your brain chemistry. It goes through the blood-brain barrier, and it begins to pick your mood up. And so there's some studies that indicate that 20 minutes of exposure to this soil bacteria can work better than medication for mild to moderate depression in some people. So that would be one example of an interesting fact that could come up as someone just hits the button and pulls up the app. Each one could start with an interesting fact about our interaction with the natural world, that kind of thing. So those would be two parts of the app that I have in mind. The third part would have to be based on some sort of physiological response monitoring. And what I mean by this is, let's say that somebody pulls up an exercise to do, like walking through a garden, the one I mentioned earlier. So they could use their phone to measure their heart rate and whatever else is built into phones to monitor things like this, breath rate maybe also, before they do the exercise, and then go out in the garden and do the exercise. And by the way, another one of those little facts, the more biodiversity, the more variety of plants and animals there are, the healthier it is for us when we encounter them. So that would be another one that would pop up. So anyway, you measure yourself before you go out, then you come back and measure yourself again, and something in the software would compare the two readings so that people could actually know that this is having an effect on their bodies as well as on their mood and other things. And then a fourth possibility would be to network with ecotherapists. Ecotherapy is the field that covers all of this. It's an umbrella term for a number of disciplines that reconnect us with the natural world. So ecotherapists are gardening therapists, animal-assisted therapists, vision quest, nature experts, a whole bunch of different people. And so the fourth application, or the fourth piece built into the app, could allow people to connect with an ecotherapist near them and ask some questions and find out whatever it is that they need to know. So I want to mention a little about the scientific part of all this, because there have been a lot of studies done. Just to give you a single example of many, and then I'm going to read a few titles of studies. If you split a group of people into two and you walk some of them through a mall and the rest through a forest, The ones who walk through the mall in at least a couple of studies are more anxious, and their self-esteem is lower when they get done, even a brief walk. The ones who go through the forest feel better about themselves. They have more vitality, less anxiety, their blood pressure is lower. A number of good things happen. So here's some titles of studies. 71% report depression decrease after a green walk. That was a study in the UK. Immersion in nature makes us nicer. It tends to decrease negative interactions between people. We're not as irritable and grouchy. There's one called How the City Hurts Your Brain and What You Can Do About It, which is what we're talking about. Connection to nature vital to our mental and physical health, scientists say. And the last one, that refers to my example earlier, dirt can make you happy. Yes?